Artificial intelligence is officially breaking out. It's not just on our screens anymore, it's moving into the real world. We're talking about everything from the glasses on your face to the debates happening in the halls of government. It's a full-blown revolution, and it is moving way faster than you might think. So today, let's connect the dots.
Okay, so let's get right into it. For the longest time, AI was this thing that happened, inside our computers, inside our phones, but that is all changing. We're going to kick things off with a piece of tech that proves AI is no longer just software. It's something you can actually wear, something that literally sees the world right along with you.
And here we go. This is our first real, tangible piece of the puzzle. It comes from Meta, and they've teamed up with the iconic brand Oakley. What they've done is launch a brand new line of smart glasses. And trust me, they are absolutely packed with AI.
Now get this. The new HSTN smart glasses start at just $399. And honestly, that price point, that's the real story here. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky concept for the ultra-wealthy. This is advanced AI becoming a product that regular people can actually buy.
And it's so much more than just a camera on your face. You've got Meta's AI assistant built right in, always ready to answer your questions. You can stream video live directly from your point of view. You can take calls through speakers that are integrated into the frames. And you're doing all of this while looking through top-of-the-line Oakley lenses. AI is just becoming this seamless, almost invisible part of our day.
But look, a cool gadget is really just the tip of the iceberg. The part that's truly revolutionary, that's the tech that makes all this possible in the first place. So let's pop the hood and take a look inside the engine room of this whole AI explosion.
The big breakthrough here is a concept called self-supervised learning, or SSL. Meta just dropped an open-source model called Dino v3 that uses it. Now, instead of people having to painstakingly label millions of images by hand, which is incredibly slow and super expensive, this AI basically teaches itself by finding patterns in these massive raw, unlabeled datasets.
And this comparison just perfectly illustrates the massive shift. The old way was a bottleneck, a huge one. But this new way, Dino v3 learned from 1.7 times billion images. It's like opening the floodgates. It just drastically cuts the cost and the time it takes to train these unbelievably powerful AI vision models.
And because this new learning method is so incredibly efficient, it's not just happening at Meta. This revolution is basically democratizing AI for everyone. Take a look at this headline about a new open-source model from Alibaba. It's so good that people are calling it a direct threat to industry giants like Adobe Photoshop.
So how's it work? Well, it's pretty much Photoshop that you can talk to. You just type a command in plain English, something like, hey, remove the person in the background, or make this picture look like it's from an anime film. And poof, the AI does it. And the best part? Because it's open source, anybody can use it. That means innovation can happen anywhere, not just inside the walls of big corporations.
So you have to ask, what happens when AI gets this powerful and this easy to get your hands on? Well, it doesn't just shake up the software market, it starts to trigger these really high-stakes battles in government. All of a sudden, the hardware that runs all this AI, the computer chips, becomes a critical national asset.
Which brings us to this question. Is it a handout or is it an investment? This is at the very heart of a massive debate going on in the United States right now. See, the government has this $52.7 billion fund. It's called the CHIPS Act, and it's all about boosting semiconductor manufacturing at home. But how exactly should they give out that money?
Okay, here's the really controversial part of the proposal. Instead of just giving out grants to companies like Intel or Samsung or TSMC, the U.S. government, led by Commerce Secretary Howard Rutnick, is saying they want an equity stake. They want to be a shareholder in the company. The U.S. government's position is pretty simple. Hey, if we're putting taxpayer money on the line, we want a return on that investment. Supporters like Senator Bernie Sanders totally agree. But the companies, Samsung and TSMC, they're worried. They're saying this kind of unpredictability might actually scare off other private investors. Then you have critics who argue the government has no business trying to pick stocks with public money. It has become this massive economic and political battle over who holds the keys to the AI kingdom.
And the ripples just keep spreading. Because what does all this incredibly powerful AI need to work? It needs data. Lots of it. Your data. And that is sparking a whole new fight over regulation and who controls our personal information.
This is really the fundamental question at the heart of a pretty fierce debate happening over in South Korea. Lawmakers there are pushing for a new data portability law. The idea is that it would give you the right to take your data from one platform and move it to another. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's really not.
So on one side, the whole argument is about empowering you, the user, and strengthening your control over your own information. But on the other side, companies are raising some serious alarms. They're arguing that this law would force them to spend a fortune building secure systems, that it risks leaking their trade secrets, and that it could even be abused by automated scraping tools to illegally suck up and misuse tons of personal data.
So let's just pause for a second. We started this whole journey with a pair of smart glasses. But that one single product connects directly to a revolution in how AI learns, which then kicks off geopolitical fights over computer chips and then regulatory battles over our data. So what in the world does all of this mean?
Well, it means we are living in a time that's really defined by these powerful competing forces. You have this breakneck pace of innovation that's constantly clashing with the slow, careful process of creating regulations. You have this beautiful ideal of open source access for all, butting right up against the hard reality of national security. And you have our desire for personal control over our data, creating all these new burdens and risks for companies.
In all of this, it all comes down to one final, incredibly important question. We know for a fact that AI is getting smarter and cheaper every single day. The technology isn't slowing down. So the real challenge for all of us is to figure out who gets to write the rules for our future. Is it going to be the innovators, the governments, or is it going to be us, the people?